Alright, good morning, boys, and we need to talk. Have you guys noticed that the fitness community has just basically become like a huge, big science experiment with everybody trying to like treat themselves and soup themselves up with like steroids and like these weird biohacks, like they're like a DC Comics hero, like they're a DC Comics supervillain, be like Bane. People partake in cold plunges. People are going to like these wild, like river, like cold lakes and stuff like that. People are like doing these DNA type of scientifically optimized type of workouts and these weird little, just scientifically optimized workouts. Meanwhile, you got the biggest dude in your gym. You got guys like me who are literally just only chicken and rice every single day, and they're training like psychopaths. They're training like absolutely maniacs every single day in the gym. You may be wondering, for a guy who's probably like most likely got his like type of contest style from guys and his like entire tone from guys like Sam Sulek and like the Trench Twins and stuff like that, why am I not talking more about the psychopathic training that these guys are having? Why am I making this video specifically about the scientifically like nerdy, like scientifically optimized workout routines instead of me talking more about like, well, how to train like a psychopath, or me not like getting more into depth about my 100-pound weight loss about using Ozempic and being a teenager, by the way. So appreciate me, subscribe to this channel. Simple, because I really want to expose how overcomplicated the fitness community has gotten themselves into. They basically made themselves be like a parent that's just overworking themselves and just over like treating themselves like crap and stuff like that, working way too hard for themselves. Also, I'm not completely like avoiding optimization. I'm not saying that optimization is bad either. What I basically just want to make a video about is just basically what works for me, like talking about like other things that I specifically find cringe as well, like the optimization, biohacking, r/biohacking community, like these weird little scientists online. This is starting to become a problem, and this is perhaps becoming the trend right now of this year as well. Everybody obviously trying to do like their New Year's revelations and stuff like that, and like trying to reinvent themselves and stuff like that. But everybody's basically saying that you need like a $400 or like ring, stuff like that, the new meta glasses and stuff like that. You need the newest sleep tracking, like $30 a month like subscription app. You need the best carbohydrate, best like Fitness Pal, like $30 a month like subscription apps. You need an Ice Barrel and a machine that looks like some weird like BDSM fetish that's being put into your muscles. Still, I lose 15 pounds even though the same formula just sticks the same. Just train hard, eat hard, sleep hard, just repeat like a psychopathic maniac. And that's it, because nobody needs another biohack. Nobody needs like the best like Paradox and Fitness, like Greg Duchetti, like scientifically like optimized biohacks that may work for you and stuff like that. What people need is that they need consistency. And if you guys have watched my YouTube shorts and my previous videos specifically, I preach this like this ideology, specifically being that you should be comfortable, be uncomfortable. Basically meaning that you're doing a fitness routine, you're working out every single day, doing like cardio and lifting that you specifically find fun every single day. If you find cardio fun but you don't want to do specifically like the elliptical like me, I absolutely hate the elliptical, especially towards my knees, like my hamstrings, and I love like jogging, running and stuff like that, then don't do the elliptical. Probably just jog and run, just walk and stuff like that. And also, if you specifically love like doing the push-pull legs, a full body split, or doing specific exercises, then just do that instead of doing like these 6-day scientifically optimized with splits. Here's the thing: you're supposed to be struggling. You're supposed to be like going through that pain and that suffering every single workout, going like working hard on your diet and stuff like that. But you're not going to simply stick to the program. You're not going to like the program if every single day is just sucky and you're like looking for it every single day. It's just messing up your routine with work and like school and stuff like that. So that's like the only thing that you're thinking about to lose weight and stuff like that. These scientifically optimized like fitness routines, like this club that you're going to, that they're saying like do these weird hard workouts for yourself. Because that's like doing like push-ups, even though you can't do the push-ups just because of the fact that's still too uncomfortable. So you start on your knees and stuff like that. You start off something where it's more comfortable for you. But here's the thing, and there's guys in my comments as well trying to be like, they're trying to be scientifically like optimized scientists, be like, this program works for everybody else because of the fact that it worked for me. And like, dude, you're not even a scientist. Like you're not even a doctor. You don't have like an MD, you don't have a PhD, you don't have none of that towards your name. You're not even certified in like sports nutrition science or stuff like that. You're trying to preach to everybody what works for them. They're trying to preach to everybody what works for them and like be like this Andrew Huberman type of guy. I mean, Andrew Huberman can do it to the fact that he really has the degrees and stuff like that, and that may be actually proven to be right. So this video, I really want to get into the depth of like basically ice baths, like supplements, and like these weird little gadget biohacking like substances and like tools that people get into, people think like this works for them, because some of this stuff is useful, some of this stuff is nonsense. So let's get into it. That's all I gotta say. Now first, I want to talk about the mainstream biohack that most people are doing nowadays, ice baths and such. There isn't one thing with scientists loving to track protein intake and basically all these other supplements. They do love going naked in fitness barrels and stuff like that, these Nordic barrels, and freezing their balls off, basically making their little Johnsons shrivel up and be cold and look like a female on the outside. Even guys like Andrew Huberman specifically actively talk about the fitness protocol when it comes to ice baths and like every single the fitness protocol, like every single protocol in this video, he like mainly like made like multiple different ice baths, ice recovery, like protocol techniques, and specifically I think he has a specific fitness like playlist where he has only like ice baths on it. And to be fair, ice baths do have their benefits. They do have their benefits. So that's where I take cold showers, stuff like that, any type of cold therapy, reduces inflammation, reduces muscle soreness, increases recovery, increases alertness, and even increases the brown fat activation in your body. And basically explain brown fat is basically your survival mode of fat that was basically made like when me and you were basically beating the shit out of like other different men, like the famine of like the Stone Age, Cold Age, Ice Age century. It helped generate heat, and also most importantly for us bodybuilders and guys trying to be fit, it just burnt off when we were in cold environments to be used as energy because of the fact that we clearly couldn't like beat like 1,000-pound woolly mammoths by ourselves, so we needed to survive on food. So we use our own cells, our body fat storage as food. So yes, there is science and actual history behind this technique of cold showers and ice baths and stuff like that, these Nordic Viking ancient like baths and stuff like that. But honestly, this does actually make you alert, and this makes you actually more like wakeful when you actually splash cold water onto your face. There's a reason why movie characters specifically splash cold water, or like Rocky specifically like splash cold water into their faces so they can wake themselves up before like a dramatic scene. Because the science is that your body reacts immediately to the process. The science is that your body reacts immediately to the process. You become more alert, you become more focused. Now to me, when I'm taking my ice showers and my cold baths and stuff like that, it's not like I'm the one who's like become like basically like no fat, how people promote no fat like day 90 and like Super Saiyan, some stuff like that. I don't feel the benefit or like the effect of me become like Super Saiyan, but I guess I just feel basically just good things are just more realistic, like feeling more awake, feeling more restful, tighter skin, and also being more vascular. And yes, when I was talking about your Johnsons basically shriveling up and looking like you're basically a girl, your penis does basically just shrivel up and just basically get super cold and stiff when you're taking cold showers and ice baths and stuff like that. That is the proper way that you're supposed to be taking cold showers and ice baths. Your penis is supposed to be basically shriveling up and like being cold and like a frozen rock. Looks like it just came out of another dimension. That means you're on the right track, and that means that the cold shower effect is working great for you. It means that it's working right for you, because the fact that if it is a shriveling up, then you're not cold enough. You're supposed to be that cold to the point like your Johnson is supposed to be like that shriveled up. And so overall, I say biohacks is specifically one of the few things that I say are legit. I would say ice baths are specifically one of the only biohacks that I would say are like specifically legit, since there's like multiple different studies on ice baths more than like let's say the other biohacks and stuff like that I'll get later into this video. Supplements. Now let's talk about supplements. Now Rich Piana was still alive to watch this section of the video. He was screaming 5% baby whilst also snorting like a couple grams of pre-workout and basically have an aneurysm in the spot right there. Supplements are generally interesting since they're like mildly useful or like very useful, or just pixie dust in a jar or in a pill, just complete absolute garbage. And the first supplement that you probably never heard before, but I read it off Mike Matthews' book on like Bigger, Leaner, Stronger and Muscle for Life, is spirulina. Sounds more like a Pokemon evolution than a bluish green algae that's found in the bottom of the seafloor, which is basically where it comes from, the bottom of the seafloor, and it's basically a bluish green algae. People take this weird little bluish green algae for multiple different health effects. Some studies do suggest that it improves cholesterol and lowers blood pressure and all this random, just BS and stuff like that, weight maintenance and control, which obviously is not going to happen. Obviously, you still need to be in a calorie deficit no matter if you're on keto and stuff like that. The thing is that so far, most of the studies and the evidence I've seen specifically on spirulina has just been on guys who have just been like contradicting their studies. And also, it is quite confusing as well, since most of the guys are getting the benefits and stuff like that on spirulina has been like they don't exercise and stuff like that, and they're getting like their cholesterol and their stuff clear like that. Most of the stuff has been like kind of like confirmed that most of the studies having like a little bit messed up and a little bit like shifted around regarding spirulina. I would rank spirulina more of like a B tier, like a C plus tier for supplements. The only thing is that we need more studies regarding spirulina. Like for you scientists, optimization nerds, you perhaps need more studies to actually be talking more about if spirulina works or not. Now for the keto kings and queens, the exogenous ketones. These are basically supplements that when you take these exogenous ketones into your body, these basically like produce the amount of ketones that are basically made into your body exogenously, which basically means it comes outside your body. It includes things like MCT oil, ketone salts, and flavored keto drinks. Oh, here's the thing though, if we're talking about exogenous ketones, then we have to talk about ketosis. And ketosis in its own right isn't going to make you directly lose weight. It doesn't magically make you overwrite calories. You still need to lose weight by being in a calorie deficit, or you want to maintain weight, maintenance, and surplus and you want to bulk. It's a part where most people ignore, but here's the interesting thing about ketones. When you take ketones, it actually like enhances your brain functioning. It gives you a spine compared to most guys on Twitter and also my social media comment haters. There's also growing research on ketosis regarding neurological conditions as well. But some people online think that drinking buttered coffee makes them turn into like Batman, like how most guys are like being seen as like no fat warriors. Relax, and overall, if keto works for you, cool, but it's not magic. There is no secret pill. There is no exogenous ketones that's going to specifically make you lose 30 pounds, make you bulk up 20 pounds extra muscle while staying lean. You still need to be counting your calories. Nothing can override the calorie counting maintenance process. That's just how our body works through heat transfer. Now I specifically want to talk about multivitamins. And honestly, if you probably watch Sam Sulek and he's like dry scooping like multivitamin pills and stuff like that, you may be specifically thinking that most of these guys specifically think that multivitamins can override the unhealthy lifestyle that you already have, like smoking and eating unhealthy food and not working out. And you take one gummy vitamin, it makes it seem like, yeah, I'm healthy now, but in reality, you're not healthy. You're still in a situation where it's like, yeah, it gives you the vitamins, but your lifestyle is still kind of like shit. Some studies show benefits, some don't, but realistically, they are supplements. They're supposed to supplement a good lifestyle, not maybe replace one. Sam Sulek. Now I want to talk about creatine. Creatine is probably the most researched and supplement ever known to mankind. And unlike a lot of different fitness garbage, creatine is actually very much proven to be worth. I mean, even I take creatine, increase muscle formation and active endurance and recovery throughout your workouts. And no, it's not steroids. And no, for one, creatine is gonna make you bald, especially if you're paired with protein powder. Like, where's the study coming from? Perhaps it does increase DHT, but no, it's not going to be that much of a big effect. In that case, that means testosterone is being increased, which means I may as well add testosterone as being an increasing effect when you take creatine. Basically, the supplement I would recommend to you and to me, what I take basically to train like a psychopath. And anybody who wants to train like psychopath lately, anybody who wants to train super serious and super hard in the gym, then yeah, take creatine. I use it myself. Creatine is legit simple. That was basically the basic. That was basically the meat and the potatoes of basically the biohacking industry. Now let's talk about the dessert. Let's talk about something that's more weirder. Let's talk about something that's like more hackful, more kind of complex, more like scientifically controversial. And right now I'm thinking about three in my mind right now that I specifically have learned over the years, just what I learned specifically today researching for this video to talk about. The thing that people spend $600 just to avoid cardio. Literally, people spending $600 just to avoid cardio, they instead would spend this money so they can spend their money on biohacks instead of doing cardio. Starting off, do you know those ab simulator machines? Those ones that you specifically saw of like some weird cartoon or some real like TV show where like the father buys like the ab simulating machines so he can lose weight and stuff like that and build like a couple extra pounds of muscle, and then you just sit down there and just do nothing at all. Yeah, those things off the TV ads and off like now currently right now on YouTube ads have I seen like last year. These machines specifically before were used medically for recovery, psychotherapy, or helping injured muscles become more like muscular and active again. That would spend $600 so they can skip cardio. And here's the thing, you're not going to be able to build muscle, or you're not going to be able to build a good physique by literally stabbing an electric toaster into your muscles and thinking that you can just sit there and just be lazy and be like a little chud. I tried them years ago. I tried them at the start of my fitness journey, and honestly they suck and they never helped me. At best, they only create a temporary pump due to the fact that it's activating those muscle cells. It's like contracting their muscles, and so in that case more blood is going to be filled into like your biceps and your abs and stuff like that. And at worst, you just spent $600 due to the fact that you're too lazy just to do setups and like bicep curls and just train legs. And I love, but not really, that every ad basically says military grade technology makes you lose weight and gain a fit and lean physique. This is what the military uses to be lean and fast and like fit and lean. I'm like, bro, the military is out here preparing for war. You think the goddamn military is thinking more about being lean and trying to be like fit and shit? I mean, fitness and stuff like that is important. Obviously, you don't want a beast hard to be in the military, but I don't think the military ain't gonna be specifically caring about, well, techniques to be lean. The next thing I want to talk about is blood flow restricted training, also known as ketsu training, or some weird Japanese name specifically that also came from some weird Japanese technique. Now this is where you probably seen Chris Bubstad, Sebum specifically wrap bands and arms, stuff like that, and specifically some guys like Trent Twins specifically wrap bands and like bands and stuff like that around their arms and legs so they can constrain like their muscles and stuff like that. And yes, it's actually a real training method that people actually do. This is actually a real biohacking method that people do. Even professional bodybuilders and like fighters and stuff like that have experience with it. The idea is basically when you The idea is basically when you like death grip your own muscle, like how you death grip your Johnson or Bonnie Blue. This creates like metabolic stress towards your muscle and basically creates more blood flow to the muscle, improve endurance, and has more muscle stimulus and more hypertrophy. Now, personally, me, I still think it's insane. I'm personally calling sebum insane for perhaps using this one. I'm not even sure if sebum even uses, but let me just say sebum because it looks like you're turning your arm into some weird anime fighter, like or some like weird type of balloon animal. Does it have research behind it? Yes. Do you think most people need to use it? No, because this is more of an advanced technique. This is more of an advanced biohack. Still, people specifically starting on their journey or their intermediate, still people don't have like mastery over calorie counting and mastery over what supplement works best for them, proper nutrition, the sleep, and consistency every single day. Focus on the basics first before you even start perhaps putting bands and stuff like that on your arms like you're doing like an anime fighter. And last but not least, because of the fact that there's 1,000 different types of biohacking in this video, and I could probably make a part 2, is DNA fitness testing. This is where basically popular companies basically use your genes and basically make gene studies so they can specifically have a specific protocol where they map out the genes to basically map out like your custom diet, your custom fitness routine, your custom fitness workouts, blood type meal plans, and sometimes it even gets even more crazier like that. It gets to like borderline astrology and just basically meaning like what gives you more of a pump or not in the gym. Here's the thing, you do not need to sequence your DNA just to lose weight. That means basically guys like me will be going to like a clinic every single day, every single like month or stuff like that, so we can map out our DNA. Sebum would be going to like some clinics and they can map out his DNA. Trent and Sam, so like all these guys would be specifically going out to like these DNA clinics so they can map up their DNA, stuff like that, have specific plans specifically by their blood type or even just the month that they were born on. Just need a calorie deficit, good sleep, like I said before, hard training, and just be a psychopath in mindset. And that's it. Some companies just overall think that you're like some ancient unwoken warrior or stuff like that needs to be woken up and basically like have a specific diet and custom training plan. Like it's a lot. It's just pure BS and scamming. Like people are literally spending $600,000 just for what? And brother, you just need to stop being a chud, stop watching like Netflix and stop gooning the Bonnie Blue whilst eating 4,000 calories every midnight at like 3 a.m. in the morning because you don't want to go to sleep because the fact that you have like all this dopamine fall into your body. Fitness ain't magic. Some of these industries are just making their money by just making things seem more complicated and basically giving like not the right to the people to basically research like if these things work or not. So I want to specifically talk about how much can you overall optimize fitness in this entire video. They may be wondering like this wasn't actually a bad video due to the fact that you work out specifically don't want to talk more about like the whole like fitness type of thing. And yes, I don't want to talk more about the whole like fitness science optimization type of thing. I want to talk about guys training hard, actually taking more action, getting good sleep and stuff like that. And you can somewhat basically make it more optimized, stuff like that, but reality is often disappointing, to be honest. You still need like the basic stuff like that and the basic triumph more than any of these optimization biohack type of systems because it's your own body system. That's the secret. No gadget, no secret chamber, no DNA sequencing, just all hard work between the 4 principles of eating hard, sleeping hard, training hard, and repeating hard. And now don't get me wrong, I love supplements. I'll always take creatine every single day. I'll always try to use protein powder every single day. I'll always use like the newest type of fitness like supplement tool that may come out and it's been proven without like the newest studies and stuff like that. I'll always use it pre-workout, stuff like that, especially supplement with caffeine pills. Keto helped me during certain periods of my life. Some of them are basically just tiny add-ons to like a DLC to like a video game, stuff like that, not like the entire game change. And that's the problem with the fitness community as well. Most people try to optimize their process and actually take action towards the process. If something works for you, cool, then use it. Don't feel pressure to buy every single weird product and political jargon specifically by these companies and stuff like that. Now apparently gonna make you build like extra 50 pounds of muscle to like your hamstrings. Find what you can enjoy, like I always preach in my videos, and find what you can actually stick with. Because consistency always beats optimization every time in the long game. To get fit, have fun, stay healthy, and enjoy your life. And as always, stay safe, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.